just had my meeting with my social club. We'll talk about social media and actually building an inbound following and how important it is. And if you want to be coached by me, comment below this video. I'll see you guys there. I think that every single person wants to make money, which is the main goal. And keeping the main thing, which is making money, is important. Because if we're not making money, then none of this even matters. And if we don't have a business, then I don't know what we're doing here and we're wasting time. And we can agree that in order to make money, we need customers. And our customers are these little dots, and they are currently confused. They currently don't know what to do. And the only way that we can connect them to making money is by either number one, pulling them here ourselves. Like we have to pull them in, or we push them. We use force and we push them and make them, purchase our stuff, and then they come around. There's a lot of outward force when it has, and this is the two separations that we're going to be talking about, because we have inbound over here, which is a pull, and we have outbound, which is a push. And what I mean by this is because if we do outbound stuff, which is just the fancy word of doing cold outreach, what we currently do to acquire clients, which is email, cold call, all this stuff, it's tiring and it's boring. And a lot of us don't like it and we give up. And I have noticed since I started this coaching program that a lot of us don't really get clients and results because we don't want to do the outbound work, because we have to go out into the marketplace, find people, push them to our product. Instead, we could be just sourcing, making content, and then at the end, maybe pitch something, which would be inbound traffic. We see like people online, the biggest influencers either can stamp their logo or brand like Logan Paul's Prime or Terramana Tequila with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It's these brands that actually are going to be, moving the economy, places that we've never even seen. The old way to make money, industrial revolution, was big factories produce products and these people buy the products. But people that had the big factories are the people that are winning. It's the oil. Today, the people that have the brands are going to be replacing these factories and these companies. Skittles, M&M, all these random things. You get brand association in your mind. You're attaching yourself to, I like Skittles, I like M&Ms, but really they're just brands. When new influencers come in and they start branding candy, Mr. Beast Feastables, or they start branding drinks, we have Prime, it's going to be a whole different game. And this just started and it's going to be continuing. So the long-term play here is, yes, we start with outbound because it's the first easiest thing we can do. If you have a phone, you can pick it up, you can dial a number, you can call, and you can pitch. But the long-term play here is outbound, which is inbound, which is content. So we talked about content last, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, but we're gonna be using content to get customers. And the best way to do that is just creating a brand. And we have to start with number one, who you are and what your brand is doing and everything like that. Us as agency owners, there are a lot of different things that we could talk about. So how do we create content around it? Well, content can actually not just equal customers, but it's documenting and journaling the process of what we're doing. So for example, I currently in my last 2 months of business have made $15,000, and that's currently my net worth. And that has been a challenge that sparked my brain because there's exactly like 140 days before the end of the year. So I, every single day, am picking up my camera and documenting the journey of going from zero to $100,000 in total revenue. And that becomes a documenting process, and that will become a brand that I will post videos about and make content about that people will fall in love with. So yeah, we're agency owners, and yeah, our service delivery is kind of boring. Maybe we just make websites or whatever, but we're entrepreneurs at the end of the day, and every single person wants to make money. So if we document our process, our journey, all the struggles and things that people don't talk about on the internet, this content can get us customers, but it's actually building, an audience. So I want to first do the speaking thing, and then I want to like go one by one, talk to you guys about how you want to build your own audiences. And the biggest thing is consistency, right? This is the thing that we all struggle with. Whether you're doing inbound or outbound, I have noticed that even the people in the group that have already gotten clients, literally just still struggle with consistency and building in this funnel. Like the client acquisition is the most important thing, because if you don't have clients, if you don't have money, you have nothing. You don't have a business, you're not an entrepreneur without this. Money is our language, money is our fuel. We can't, continue going or growing. And that's the hardest thing, because it takes a lot of energy to sit down in a chair for 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and just call and just call and just fail and call. I had a call the other day, the first time in my life doing sales. Somebody cussed me out and threatened to kill me, which I've been doing solar sales, door to door, going to people's houses. Never once has anyone really tried to like hurt me as far as my mental thing. But I had done so many reps before then. The dude literally read off my address and basically said, I hope that you're ready tonight because I'm coming and killing you. Never call this number again. And I was fine. I was like, whatever. And then I moved on to the next one. Most people will just not even hear, people will just hang up and they'll get discouraged and they'll stop. But whether we're doing branding or we're doing outbound, I wanted to make this conversation because I know you guys are struggling with consistency, and that is the driver for this whole thing. You guys got, I love that you're watching Alex Ramosi. He's just talking about, if you want to do the stuff that no one's ever doing, make the money that no one's making, you have to do the stuff that no one's doing, and you have to do it for a long period of time. So before we go really into brand, there's one thing I want to say. So there's only three things, and this is honest. There's only three things that you need to be successful in anything. You need knowledge, you need action, and you need consistency. And without any of these, if you don't have any of them, you're done. But if you're missing one of them, you're still done. So knowledge would be, how do I acquire clients? We already know it's just doing outreach. The second part is action. You have to do the outreach and you have to do it properly. If you mess it up, if you're not doing it correctly, if you're not learning from your mistakes, the iteration of this, if you actually zoom in, I'm going to make an arrow, looks like this. Ray Dalio talks about it in his book. And this is what your process should look like over time on the macro, right? Which I'm going to go into this graph a second, but consistency is the thing that we all struggle with. It's just doing it every single day, right? Regardless of whether you're sick, whether you're hungry, whether you're tired. Even I struggle with this sometimes. I'm not motivated, but you have to see at the end of the tunnel, like, this is what I want, and I have to keep doing it. So while we're talking about branding, while we're talking about outreach, just remember consistency. It's just going to separate the winners from the wannabes, and that's it. And then touching on this, essentially, this is just your spiral of iteration. So when you're taking action, I'm doing cold calls. Eventually, I'm going to reach a point where I need to improve my cold calling, which is you're going up, you're getting really good, but then you stop. You stop here. Whereas you should, continue over here. You hit a point where you're like, shoot, this is not working anymore. So then you start to backtrack. This is like the arrow. You're going backwards. You're not doing it anymore. You stop being consistent. You're literally terrible. You're failing. And then you realize, well, most people stop here, so I'm going to keep going. So then you're trying to go, but you haven't learned what you need to learn. So you're just going down. You're not really going anywhere. Eventually, when you find the solution to how to get better and improve, which is just doing a lot of reps, you're going to start heading back up towards the top again. And at every point in business, you're going to keep hitting this spiral where you start doing something, you get really excited, you get a lot of progress, you hit a wall, you fail, and you give up, and then you start, and then you keep going. Alex Ramosi says this. I think there's four things. It's you do action, then you hit problem, then you hit solution, success, and complacency. If you sit at any one of these stages for too long, you're not going to grow. And most people I see are not growing with this consistency part, because you take the action, you hit the problem, you get a solution, you have some success, you get the first client, but then you become complacent after that. If you stay at any of these stages for too long, you're done. You will fail. So in this is the loop. This is what this looks like, right there. So back to brand. We're going to just go down the list now. I saw Felix was here first. We're gonna start with him, but this is my topic on brand. We're gonna break in the specifics once we start going through, and you guys give me some ideas. Felix, go ahead.
Um, Please repeat that. I kind of got caught off guard, to be honest.
Just give me some ideas on how you want to build your brand, given what I was. Did you guys hear everything I said, by the way?
Yeah, yeah, I hear what you
Yeah.
said. Um, I was thinking about that, and I wanted to work on a social media strategy for me. So I think since I'm riding a bike, I'm like doing this whole thing, and I'm working out. I kind of want to, and I have my side hustle at a gas station. I think I want to start a podcast, which I'm doing once a week, where I just tell a little bit out of my life, a few funny stories, because like the gas station is a place where you see a lot, to be honest, and the struggle with building this whole company thing, and like the progress I'm getting in my workout sessions and stuff. That's something I'm thinking about for my personal brand, like the
Awesome.
podcast thing.
Cool. All right. We'll come back to this. Darion, you're up next.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I'm making a website right now.
Oh, you're fine. Just give me some ideas on how you want to build your personal brand.
Uh, I want to gain some more knowledge at first, and then like give people free knowledge, and then just learn more and teach more and network with different people.
Be way more specific. Like give me what are you gonna build content on? Why are you building the content? Like
Building the content to build trust with people so that they want to work with me. Um,
what
and
content what content are you making though?
how-to videos,
Like how
like
to
like how to do certain things with building websites or SEO or maybe even SMMA when I get more experience in that as well.
all right. Any more specifics? Like I like what Felix said. It's a this is the problem like most people have with brands, and I don't know if you were just not paying attention to what I was saying, so maybe you got thrown off guard, but no one really like just making videos about websites, dude. There's thousands of people, there's millions of people that just make videos on websites, but why are people subscribing to Darion's channel? What makes you different than every single person? Like this gas station thing, that's cool. Like side hustle at a gas station, it's a unique thing, but it's also business related. So like there's the topic, which is websites, but how do you bring yourself into that, make a brand around that?
Maybe I post consistently or
Well, everyone posts consistently like that's like there's the laws, right, of content. You have to post consistently, you have to do it every day, and you have to continue to improve. But like what content are you making specifically?
uh maybe how to use Wix.
All right,
And
so
maybe
maybe I can ask you the question because I don't know. What kind of hobbies do you have? Like, do you like to climb? Do you like to ride your bicycle? Like, do you have something you do that kind of represents you to the public or to your friends for now?
I play football right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
football.
so that would be something you could build your brand around.
Yeah, keep going with that, Darion. Thanks, Felix. That was a good.
I play football in SGA,
What's that?
um, student government.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about your like how are you doing in school? Like are there struggles? Are there things that like you could probably relate with other people about?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of struggles, especially when it comes to pre-cal math, just a lot of numbers and stuff. Also, showing up to class on time when I have a lot of stuff to do in the morning, going to work after school, stuff like that.
Yeah. See, now you're getting into like things people can relate to. I know that like I struggled to get class on time when I went to college. high school, getting to the bus, make video. Yeah, look at Phil. He's freaking laughing over there. So
Yeah. I mean, it's sad, but it's the reality.
yeah, so that's what people love. That's what people are falling in love with. Yeah, you can talk about Wix, but dude, you're gonna get like 0 views. So but you start yeah, keep going. You're on
Thank
a
you, Felix. Thank you, Felix.
No problem.
yeah, Dion, throw out some more ideas because I like the direction you're going.
Uh, maybe uh getting better grades or school food being nasty.
Oh yeah.
Uh, long lines to get into the building, crowded hallways to get into class. Uh,
Okay, so transition out of school stuff and then move into like business struggles or motivation struggles, things like people that you're dealing with.
um, maybe hard to set up meetings. To book meetings, staying on the phone for 4 hours, calling a bunch of random people you don't know. Hard picking the niche, the right niche that you actually like. Um, maybe learning how to use new platforms, new website building platforms. Learning the complications of SEO. Um, and just finding people to help you outreach. It's because a lot of people that is not trustworthy, and maybe I could show people ways to find different people to help them outreach when they get deeper into their SMMA.
Boom. So you feel like that's a lot more Durian specific, but people could still relate to it.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot better than what I said in the beginning.
Cool. All right, David, you're up.
I'm not sure if there's this. Well, I'm not sure about this, but maybe like some like uploading maybe like YouTube videos like self-improvement content or something like that.
Yeah,
Uh
be more specific on like, did you listen to what Durian was saying, like all this stuff?
yeah, but I actually didn't understand what that was. What is all that?
So so when you make content, right, you're filming yourself and you're talking about all these different topics, like there are specific struggles that David faces that other people have issues with. I already know one for you. It's struggling with getting frozen
Yeah,
when you're talking, which also relates to not having English as your primary language, right? And you live in a native English speaking country. A lot a lot of people can relate to that. So
yeah.
like what other stuff like you can talk about like family life? Is it hard growing up? Like, like where do you live? Like things that are very specific to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Something else could be struggling with consistency, for example. Um,
What type of stuff do you when you do struggle with consistency, what are you like what's stopping you? Are you watching YouTube videos on like funny stuff? Like what specifically are you doing instead of actually doing the thing that you want to do? Because a lot of people can relate to that.
um, maybe a lot of stuff, like basically anything that it's not the task that I should be doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, yeah, watching YouTube videos. Um,
Like who do you watch? Like do you watch Mr. Beast instead of like doing the work that you need?
uh,
Who do you watch mainly?
I I show speed, for example, or sometimes like football. Um, what else? Yes, I think there's more stuff. Maybe like as well, like with the notepad thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so for people that are struggling with mental health, helping as well with that. Um, Also, for example, people who struggle with like not knowing how to deal with their emotions and therefore acting, letting their emotions control them.
Yeah, I love it. Okay.
What
Yeah,
else?
yeah, a few more and then we'll move to Foza.
Yeah, all right. Which one else? Like confidence, like anxiety, like people struggle with um confidence and anxiety.
Yeah, cool. Okay, Foza, you're up.
Dope. I mean, I had like kind of an idea. Maybe I can make content about AI and leveraging AI to make code for websites. Because right now I'm learning how to use code to make websites. So I think that could be something interesting to make content about.
Yep. So you documenting the process of you learning?
Yeah, documenting the process and also just kind of showing people how to do it as well. Because it's not too hard.
Yep.
Um, maybe, and I don't know if you guys don't know this about me, but I'm a high school dropout, so maybe some of the, just the challenges of talking to people while being a high school dropout, it's definitely hard to convince people of your competence. So I'd rather just show it to them. So I don't know, I think that's something I could talk about.
Okay. You're the one reason I really resonated with you was your family. You have like a really strong desire to help your family out.
Yeah, just like my motivation. I could talk about my motivation to help my family, my sister, my brother, really just everyone. Because everyone's struggling right now and everyone needs some help, and I just want to be that person to help them.
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe like a podcast, like what Felix said.
Okay. What would it be about?
Just my life experiences. I moved a lot. I've been around a lot. I've seen a lot of things go down, and I think it'd kind of be just like, you know, nice to go on a podcast and kind of just talk about some crazy stories. The time I was almost stabbed or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Cool. So we got Anthony left and then Eric, and then I want to kind of like wrap this up and kind of explain the reason why we're doing this. Anthony, you're up.
Yeah, okay. So sorry for the late arrival. What is so we're saying what things we can make content about? Is that what it
Correct.
is?
Yeah, correct. That's yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I could document my life about being an uh entrepreneur. How do you say entrepreneur? Like
Yep. Entrepreneur.
entrepreneur and being an athlete at the same time because I play a lot of soccer. So sometimes it's hard to balance the two of them because I get caught up. Sometimes I really want to focus on business, but sometimes I really get into my um, in the focus of playing soccer. So I spend a lot of time playing and then going to the gym and pushing out. So yeah, sometimes I just black out off the internet and just go uh, off the grid a bit. Um, but I've always had that idea to start a marketing company to join athletes and what's called agents to relate them because I have a lot of friends that need an agent to start playing pro. So I've had that idea to put these two together and create a business off of that. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you make more content? I'm noticing a lot of trends between everyone's thing, and that's kind of the point I wanted to do with the exercise. How like Anthony specific, like what about I liked you know, we were talking about Dirion's thing and then Felix's thing, like stuff that you can really, that's kind of like your own struggles that you could talk about, or your own successes that you could use to help other people, or just entertainment stuff, like clips of you doing soccer, or yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I've had this idea to start a Instagram account to just put out content on soccer, and then put out content to help people who want to get in business and motivate them, because I feel like I'm a good motivator, but because I've helped a lot of my friends get into playing soccer, and also getting into business. So I feel like I'm good in that domain. And also I'm a good coach because I coach soccer a lot. So I know a lot about it. So I guess.
Cool. Okay, and then Eric, you're up last, and then we will
Can I add something to mine real quick, Alex?
yeah, go for it, man.
Another thing I could possibly make content on is like martial arts, because right now I'm training in MMA. I want to go pro by like the end of next year. So another thing I could definitely make content on is like martial arts and MMA.
Yeah, documenting the journey of you going pro would be cool. That would be sick. You know, like this huge upbringing story of you going out and doing all this dope stuff. So I feel like a lot of people
Yeah.
enjoy that.
And I think
And
people
you're
would
building
enjoy
a
seeing me
male,
get kicked in the face. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah,
and you're definitely building a male like audience. And if you're basing your business around that, that's an awesome opportunity for real. It's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Eric, you're up, man.
Well, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So I feel like I relate a lot with T and Anthony in being an athlete and that sort of thing. Because me personally, I play for the most part of for for like almost my whole entire life. I've been playing sports, but mainly football. Um, just like Anthony, I'm really like intelligent in the sport, so I feel like I could coach the same way. And I also, there's a lot of like seeing everyone come before me. I feel like it's an advantage because there's a lot of people that I relate with. David, you know, I relate with him being, struggling and consistency. I get easily distracted. I find that happening way too often. So, building my brand is, I feel like the only way of building it is building myself first. So, being able to work on myself, improve myself, um, start being consistent little by little, doing things here and there that will help me stay consistent, going to the gym, cleaning my room, doing things around the house, things like that, little things, little wins, day by day, step by step.
I love it, man. I love it. So, okay, the cool thing about all of you guys is that you're starting out. And this is like kind of the whole reason I want to talk about this today, because there are a lot of people that are struggling. People tend to relate to struggle more than they do success. If you can think about your top like level influencers, it's cool to like, you know, listen to Kobe Bryant talk about his basketball career, or, you know, Alex Hormozi talk about $100 million in business, but no, like 1% of the population is there. And your customer base and just people that care about you, right? They all are struggling. And that's kind of the thing that most people, you know, relate with, is that everyone struggles, struggling. So how do you build a company and a brand around the fact that everyone's struggling? Well, you can make content about three things. You can make entertainment content to make people feel good. This is an emotional thing. You can make educational content to fix the problem. Then you can make inspiring content to get them to do it themselves. So, you know, the best content creators will do this, do this automatically. We'll do self motivation. If you watch like Ryan Trahan, He is a great job at, you know, entertaining you while educating you and inspiring you to go out and do stuff yourself. And the reason I also want to talk about this too is because, like, I think about it that there's not really a choice in marketing and in business. If you're doing it for a customer or you're doing it for yourself, you have two options. You either do outbound and you just keep getting random people to buy your stuff, or you build a brand and have people come to you and ask you for it. So if you're thinking in your mind, like, maybe this is a choice I'll think about or do, it might just be something that you might want to be doing right now all the way to the end. I loved how, Eric and you guys all are like in the journey. So like picking up the phone and documenting that thing, like Warren Buffett or Jeff Bezos, they don't have a whole like documentary series about when they started, and by the time they become ultra famous and ultra successful, no one can relate with them. But I think, like, Eric, like, how many people are struggling just to clean their room, go to the gym, getting those little wins? How do what books are they reading? Or like, how do they even read a book if they don't know how to read? Like, how do you learn about sports in high school if you want to like get good at football? I know that I've always wanted to play football, but like I'm way too small and I never really got into it. If I had somebody to coach me or watch content on, like, you know learning how to do that, it would change my life, and I would probably dedicate everything to that person. The other thing is the person, this is the whole thing with brand, the person that's responsible for any of these. Let's say you watch my videos and you become entertained, educated, and inspired, you're going to remember me as the reason why you feel those things. And so whenever you have a problem, you're going to turn to me as a solution. And so people should be turning to you guys as solutions for whatever you're doing. If you want to like not be so distracted, making content and holding yourself accountable because you know that there's an audience that's expecting you to be a certain way is in and of itself a level of accountability. If I tell myself I have 150 days to make $90,000, but I'm not recording it, I'm not documenting, I'm not telling anyone, there's a good chance I probably won't do it because I'm not really going to motivate myself to get there. But if there's people and there's eyeballs on me expecting me to hit this target, I'm gonna put everything I have towards making sure that I can be an example for people, and you guys can do the same thing. And it's not that hard, it's free. And over time, as you build more of a client base, you can start monetizing that way deeper than if you just pick up the phone every day and do cold calls. Would you guys agree that like this is a better solution than doing what you're doing right now, which is cold outreach, cold emails? Thoughts?
Yes, it is.
So how many
Yeah,
of
I mean, I think it's definitely a better way to build trust as well.
Yeah, and for me, it's like I love helping people that come to me and ask for help, but I don't like pushing people into a position where they have the feeling they need help. So
yeah.
that's basically cold outreach, and I really don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. So I'd love to build something to get warm leads and have people come to me. And it actually happened with the client I have regarding the horse racing stall. It was a warm lead from my sister, actually. So it's a little bit complicated, but I kind of drafted into a scene where I have huge potential of customers and a huge base, and they will refer me to pretty much everyone they know because not a single horse stall in Germany has a great website. So there's a lot to do, and I actually love that.
I love that, Felix. Like, that's awesome. And the other thing, like you just said, like once you get one person or like a group of people that trust you, like Afosa said, it's a word of mouth, but like the leverage on it is crazy.
Yeah.
I talked about in the last week, we have 4 types of leverage. And if you guys aren't using these, and you guys probably have all seen Harmozy at this point, but just to reinforce the fact, the four types of leverage. Actually, does anyone want to tell me so that I'm not just talking? Or do you guys not really know?
Yeah, I don't really know what a leverage is.
Okay, so there's code, there's content, there's capital, and there's labor. So, well, we'll say this is collaboration because they're all C's, right? Collab. We've talked about number one, affiliate marketing, that was 2 weeks ago, which is collaboration, or you can hire people to do work for you, which is why you're in the marketing agency space. The idea of leverage is very, very simple. If you are putting 1 unit of input for 1 unit of output, which is working at Chipotle, working at a job, you're trading your dollars for your hours, your ability to, maximize output, which is how much you're getting out, is going to be, like 1-to-1. And it's going to be very hard for you to get anywhere in life or have any level of success, because this is like the middle class life in the poor, like the poverty mindset. This is it. This is the system right here. This is what we call fulcrum. This is a lever, and every single hour you use, you get your wage out of that. It could be $15 an hour, but you're really, really capped at what you can do. But when you start adding either code, content, capital, or collaboration in this part, like labor, contractors, employees, what you're doing is you're shifting this bar. So instead of you putting one thing in and getting one thing out, you put one thing in and you get a lot of things out. So you're still on this side of it. This is your input, which is how much you put in, and this is your output. This is how much you're getting out. But now, the lever is so much higher. So, you put in just a little bit of work, which is this arrow, and you get so much more out of it. So instead of 1 for 1, you get maybe 1 for 10, which I'm going to deepen the explanation on this in a second. Right now, when you do cold calls, there's no leverage attached to that unless you start to hire out a sales team, which would be collaboration. You have other people cold calling for you. You invest your capital, and you have a huge telemarketing team. You use your content, which would be social media, to push videos of you doing cold calls. What's different between me and Felix right now? If we're both cold calling, we're both putting in the same reps every day. It's 100 cold calls a day. We have both been trained the same. What's the difference between me? Well, if somebody's recording me, posting that on YouTube, and people see that I'm doing cold calls, if I have a dialer, when I call one person, it's actually calling 10 people. First one to pick up is actually going to be on the phone, connected with me a lot faster, which would be code. Collaboration is if I have a team of 10 people that are also calling while I'm calling, so you can get a lot more out of your time by being smart and not working hard. So the reason, content is a huge thing is because this is brand, right? You build one piece of content. So using social media, right? You do one video, which is you're talking to the camera, and I'm recording this video right now, which is going to be one person talking. But the difference is, instead of I sitting down with you on a bench in a park having a conversation where it's like I'm having one unit and talking to one person, this video has the capacity to get 10 million views or whatever, 10 plus million views, which is me sitting in a bench in a park talking to 10 million people. The biggest stadium in sports holds like 36,000 people. This is like 10 million plus. This is like virality at its max. So you guys see how there's a lot of leverage with content?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And I definitely like how you've been pushing this this lesson to us that we need to make content. It was this time, it was the previous call as well.
Yeah.
Because I think it's something that we should all dabble in to some capacity.
Yeah, I'm not saying you guys have to become content creators, but like posting some stuff, getting your name out there. Like if one of your videos goes viral, you have 10 million people that are now leads, and those people can be converted into sales. So I wouldn't tell you guys something if I'm not doing it right. So every day, like I'm trying to get better at content. You guys look at my YouTube channel, I'm growing that. I'm having people on the podcast. I'm trying to, deepen my impact as well. So I would never.
Yeah, what I noticed is your thumbnails. They've got an upgrade to it. Like 2 months ago was okay, but now they start looking really good.
Yeah, so I appreciate it. And the goal is one day when I have a big audience, then the coaching thing will be a lot easier to grow because a lot of people can trust, my brand. I also need to grow in a lot of areas too. So, but it's always something that you haven't as an option, right? It's one of the biggest levers we can pull is content. A lot of us don't know how to code. That would be building a software. A FOS is like the closest thing we have to coding. You selling Go high level. That is a huge, lever. Capital. We're all pretty broke. Even like having $15,000, I couldn't do anything with that. Collaboration. We don't have the capital. You need capital for this to really, get other people to work for you, unless you do pay by commission, which, let's be honest, who's going to actually be motivated enough to really drive a company if they're not getting paid for it? So, thoughts?
Yeah, I've actually found some people who would do pay per appointment on Upwork. It does I only get like 1 or 2 people out of 100 invites, but they're out there.
Yeah, I mean, Andy's not on the call right now. I have an appointment setter now. His name's Andy. He's a great guy. But the thing is like, unless you're paying someone like on a salary or something, I promise you, the motivation over time, there's just marginal decline. It does not, they don't automatically get more motivated because you're not paying them. Like, it might start up here, but given enough time, it will go to zero. And then when you pay them, right, there's a spike and then it turns back up, but then it goes down again. And then it comes back up, but then it goes down. Like, you have to keep paying people to keep this line either increasing or at least going sideways where they continue to work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do agree with you.
Cool.
Yeah. Content's also I'd say content's pretty good for e-commerce as well. It's another way you can make money. You make content, you build an audience, you can launch a store. I'm pretty sure Alex said he was dabbling in that as well.
Yeah, that's another point. You guys, a lot of you want to do Facebook ads. Well, at least when I met you, you wanted to do Facebook ads. Facebook ads is a form of content. You put capital behind that, right? These two can be levers, and then you sell something, right? Whether it's a local businesses thing or whatever. So, yeah. So I 2 weeks ago or whatever it was now, we did a huge exercise where we tried to like build out what you guys would make videos on. You pretty much, the best option I would tell you guys is just pick up your phone and do 30-second segments. Like 30-second, here's a thought for the day, here's a thing. It just provide value. Like, make it about somebody else. Like, I love Felix's thing, like at the gas station doing stories and stuff. Make it, you have 3 options. You either make it entertaining, educational, or inspirational, and just think end user in mind. What are they getting out of this? I'm not going to make it about me. It's just give value as much as you can. And eventually it will catch on. It just has to be consistent, right? We talked about the 3 things: knowledge, action, and consistency.
Yeah, now actually right now I got a thought with the gas station thing. I think I will do that in the way you just said, like a 30-second video where I tell a short story, because like I'm getting 10 stories a day. I'm working there, and I can, if I look at the stories more precisely or more in depth, I can kind of try to see lessons in them, because there are a lot of different people with a lot of different problems that come there, and I'd love to give some kind of advice with every little story. That could be a thing I'm doing once a day or once every 2 days. It would be awesome.
Here's a deeper thing too. With that, you can interview them. If you ask them for their permission, pull out your phone, get a little mic, and ask them about what their struggles are, and then clip that. Because I promise you, like, you guys already know, if you watch TikTok for any time, the most important, like,
Yeah.
you see all these people that make interview videos. Hey, how much for rent do you pay in this city? How much is your car? What do you do for work? Having all these random strangers on the podcast, people can relate to that because they're the ones walking into the gas stations. They're the ones out and about. They want to be interviewed. They'll be way more engaged than if I'm just sitting here talking.
Yeah.
Thoughts? You guys can apply this to everything. Like,
Oh, this is awesome. I'm gonna write that down.
You've given me several ideas today.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Alex.
Yeah, thanks, Fozo. I mean, like Dirion, right? He has like all this stuff. Like, go into your high school and interview people about stuff that you care about. Eric, if he wants to start talking to people about sports and like asking them like, are you playing a sport? Are you interested in this? Like, do you work out? Like, I don't know, just asking people random stuff. one of my mentors, it's not really, I wouldn't say mentor, Noah Dannenhauer, he's on TikTok. We're kind of friends. He has 2 million followers, and all he does is go around and kiss girls. Like he'll walk up and talk to them for 5 seconds and kiss them. And he just does that. And then he has them sign a shirt. It's like, hey, sign my shirt and I'll kiss you. And now he's just like, famous for that. So you literally can do anything, but I would make it close to kind of who you are as a person and then involve other people. Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So and here I'll go a step deeper. We're gonna talk about content and kind of like, so if you guys like the podcast idea, this is kind of like the content funnel, right? You take you make a 60-minute video one time. And it could be really rough and gross. I can turn my camera on and just start talking or interviewing people. And this becomes the actual unedited podcast, whatever. This is like content piece number 1. Then you do 10-minute video. What you could do, watch this. So 6 10-minute videos for YouTube. So this is YouTube.
Yeah, you got that from Alex.
Yeah.
Hormozy.
Exactly. And then you could break it down into, 60 second, you could do 60 second, 60 seconds for TikTok. And this goes all the short form platforms. So we got, TikTok, and then we have YouTube Shorts and Instagram. And then from that, you can go ahead and upload just audio only. And that's podcast. And if you want to take it really, really deep, which I've seen people do this, I've tried this, is you take the audio of you talking about something. Like I could take the audio from this and you can have it transcripted. So transcripts into either a book, you can transcript, I don't know if that's the right word. I don't really care. Into tweets. You can do and you can use AI to do this, blog articles, whatever you really want to. So I'm sitting here talking about all this stuff. I could break this down a million ways, and that's one piece of content, right? One 60-minute video, and you can really leverage the shit out of all this, and then whatever audience comes from it, you can just repeat this process once a week, twice a week. Like you guys are probably thinking, how am I going to make all these videos? You just make one of them and you break it down. 60 videos, that's going to last you the entire month or 2 months.
Damn.
If you like this one, then maybe give it a like, maybe give it a subscribe, or maybe do both. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.